Hey everyone, Joel Berry here. I don't usually jump into Tavin Dillard podcast episodes, but I wanted to personally say thank you for listening to the Tavin Dillard podcast. There have been Q&A episodes in the past, if you've listened to multiple seasons of this podcast, where sometimes people send in questions specifically for me, and then mostly they're questions for Tavin, and then slowly over the seasons I've kind of stepped out of it because Tavin's got a lot to say and people have a lot of questions for Tavin, and I think that's how it should be. But as the year wraps up, I just wanted to personally say thanks. I know there's a lot of content to consume in this world, so if you take time to listen to this podcast or watch Tavin videos and comment on them and interact and engage throughout the year and buy shirts and personal greetings and hats and all the things that, and the book and all these things that have happened, over the years. And this past year, I am personally very thankful for your engagement in this whole thing with Tavin and Chancellor Park and all he's got going on. So as the year winds up and we look ahead at 2025, I just wanted to take a moment at the beginning of this podcast episode to say I hope that you've had a great 2024, and I am very excited about this new year ahead. I hope you are as well, and thank you for being a big part of why I am thankful for all these things. So appreciate you very much, and that's all. That's all you need to hear from me. And I'd like to welcome my good pal, Tavin Dillard, into his own episode of his own podcast. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the Tavin Dillard podcast, y'all guys. Season 12's, episode 3's. Me, Tavin Dillard. I got Tavin's Lawn Care Services, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. Welcome in, y'all guys. We are at the very end of the 20-aughts, 24s, and if you know anything about years and numbers and mathematicals and how them things kind of work, this is it. We done with 20-aught, 24. I mean, if you listen to this on the day it come out, we on New Year's Eve. That's the day that you start firing off your. Well, you got some New Year's Eve fireworks, but you basically finishing up the 4th of July ones. You've been firing up since July. Then you start the New Year's Eve ones, and you wrap them up by the 4th of July so you can start cranking up, your next round. And that's how you go. It's like a track race, and you handing the firework baton from the 4th of July over to New Year's Eve, and then back over to the 4th of July. And you got birthdays and other things to celebrate in between that need a firework or two, Roman candle, bottle rocket, that kind of thing. You can do that. So that's the end of 20-24. We're like that away, but peekaboo, it's the 2025's times now, and we so excited about that. But before we get into a new year, how was Christmas for you? I mean, did you get together with people you liked, or people you mildly liked, or 4 of them you liked and 7 of them you didn't? I don't know how it went. I hope you got together and maybe you had some presents, maybe celebrated the season. Folks had church services going on, live nativities, maybe some Christmas caroling, maybe some eggnog, a lot of food, that kind of thing, fruit cakes and whatnot. My Christmas? Oh, it was good. I was real glad to have a Christmas, real glad, y'all. I mean, I got everything I wanted, but I didn't want that much. I got a little front seat cover for the 93 Ford Ranger. Just make it, some of that upholsteries, the way it was already done, some of that vinyl they had in there is getting a little chewed up, so I got a cover for that. That's pretty nice. And I mean, what else does the fella want? Got a new battery for a remote control car. So, I mean, that's looking good, and got some candy, that kind of thing. Did you get everything you wanted? Or are you at the place where you prefer to give and you ain't got a big old Christmas list like that away? Well, like I said, if you listen to this on the day it comes out, we passed Christmas and we on a New Year's Eve, and we looking in to a 20-aught, 25. That's the name of the next year. And you know what comes with a new year? That's right, New Year's resolutions. I was dropping some pimento cheese off by my Memaw's trailer day before yesterday, and she was sitting on her futon trying to get a winter dress on. Rachel Christine! You know them, because basically what it is like, just like Memaw rotates summer, winter, spring, fall, muumuus, them baby dolls, well, not all them baby dolls, but I can tell you right now, Rachel Christine gets an outfit for every season, and then some. So she over there trying to do that, and I'm just setting that container of pimento cheese in her fridge next to some squeezed butter and a piece of ham she got on a paper towel in there when Memaw says, Tabin, I got a couple of New Year's resolutions, like out of the way. Now, I know when my Memaw says that she got a couple New Year's resolutions, that it ain't her just making small talk. Oh no, y'all guys. She got like a plan for my life. You know about that? I mean, she's gonna need me to do something. Now, how big or how small, I do not know. But by the time I shut that yellow door on her fridge, I was getting a pretty good idea. I need a clothesline, Tabin. I want it right behind the trailer where y'all can't hit it with a frisbee and footballs. It's gonna be easier than getting a new dryer when this one goes out. Reason how come Memaw say that is because her dryer is on the way out. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So she wanting a clothesline. I guess she's thinking about the environment. Truth be told, she ain't. She's thinking about her pocketbook. And she's like, boy, if you can string up a goodly clothesline that's stable and everything, then I can get them clothes dry. It ain't nothing for Memaw to hang a mumu on a clothesline. She's just fine to do that. She just throw it in the dryer. And she says that dryer will get her trailer too hot during the summer times anyhow. So that's what she's looking for. But she want like a permanent one where it don't go away. Like you can't tie it to a car antenna and then like a windowsill or something, and then you drive the car off and the clothesline goes with it. It's got to be something that's going to stay, so you got to figure out what you're going to attach it to, and then what's the clothesline made out of. Like, are you using a rope, or are you using some sort of nylon kind of thing, or you got a fishing wire, what you going to use, 20-pound test line, I don't know. I ain't never put one together, y'all guys. Like, she wanting a new clothesline. And so I got to figure out, like, I don't know the exact specifications, but I get the idea that it's got to be kind of sturdy and that kind of thing. So I just tell her, well, I'll see what I can figure out, Memaw. Because when you say that, it's kind of like when a parent or mommy or daddy says to a kiddo, we'll see. They're like, hey, can we go to the park today and then see if we can chase a stray dog down and ride him like a bronco, and then the parent says, well, we'll see, kind of thing, like, which means like, I don't want to say no to your face right now, but I'm saying no to the back of your face or whatever kind of thing, and so I just tell Mom, I'll see what I can figure out, which is basically me kicking that can down the road a little bit farther, because I don't know what to think about that. Wants a clothesline behind her trailer. So I reckon, she tells me, when I tell her that I'll figure it out, like Memaw's a grown lady, so she maybe know that game a little bit. So she says, I reckon you will figure it out. It's my New Year's resolution, Okay, Memaw. Then I turn and leave, and she says, I got 2 New Year's resolutions, I said, like that away, like, don't you leave my trailer, Tabin. That's basically what she say without saying it, but she's hollering about how many New Year's resolutions she got, and then she done told me only one, so she's reminding me, hey, don't you remember the number 2? Well, you only got one, so you don't need to leave yet, because you ain't heard the second one, basically, is what Memaw's telling me. So I turn back, and she tell me that there's a baby doll convention in Branson, Missouri, in April, and that she wants to go to it. And then I watch as Memaw covers Rachel Christine's ears because she don't want her to get too excited about it yet. This is my life, y'all guys. This is my life. Like, I'm thinking, why you got to tell me you want to go to a baby doll convention? You full-grown lady, you got a 91 Buick Regal running really good. You can drive yourself up there, take your baby dolls, do the convention and all that kind of thing. And then for you to cover a baby doll's ears, she ain't real, Memaw. She ain't real. She ain't going to get excited about no convention. She a baby doll. But I'm just sitting there looking at her do all this, and I was thinking, you got to be kidding me. Come on, Memaw, that's crazy talk. Well, what do you want me to do about it, Memaw? I say, I can't just take off in April and go to a baby doll convention. You know, I was figuring she's saying, drive me down there or something, you know, like that. She said, I ain't asking you to go, Tabin. I need you to build me a baby doll display case to take my baby dolls in. Now, I don't know if she meant like all her baby dolls or just like one singular display case for Rachel Christine. I don't know exactly what she meant by baby doll case. And I don't even know what to think of that request in the first place. Like, I don't know how to process it in my brainium. I mean, what in the world? What's a baby doll display case? And what in our history together makes you think I know how to build one? Much less what makes you think I know how to build anything? I mean, I ain't no handyman. Like, I can mow a lawn, I can cut some grass. You know, I can use a screwdriver and tighten like a picture frame or something like that. But you asked me to build something. What in the world, Memaw? Is my New Year's resolution to learn how to build things? Is that what I got to add to my list? Anyhow, she don't care. I got my orders from Memaw on her New Year's resolutions. And I told her that I got a life to live. I got work to do, and I can't just drop everything and figure out how to build a clothesline and a baby doll display case. But Memaw was already on to something else. That's basically like her saying, well, I said my piece. You know what you got to do, Tabin. I don't need to have this conversation no more. You know, that's basically what she's saying to me by the way she's acting after she done did that. So, anyhow, y'all, the next day, I had been doing some, you know, lawn work, other odd jobs that I pick up in the winter when them lawns is kindly dead and all that. And then I head back to the Chancellor Park. You know where that's at? That's the trailer park I live in. And, you know what we got in the trailer park right now? Actually, you might not know since Christmas just happened. We got big old cardboard boxes. Like, I think JT Whitlow got a new refrigerator or something like that. So I think, well, this ain't no clothesline, but it's a big old cardboard box, and it just may work. Because, I mean, it's up off the ground. You can drape stuff over it to dry kind of thing. So I see Memaw's got some muumuus in her washer, and once it's done, I decided to take a couple of them muumuus out the washer and drape them over this big old cardboard box. Problem solved. You welcome. One resolution down, one to go, and it ain't even the new year yet. I'm a little bit early. I don't know how in the world I'm going to put together a baby doll display case. Well, not so fast, Tabin. Turns out wet muumuus on a cardboard box makes the cardboard wet. That's science right there. So when cardboard gets wet, it starts to shrink and whatever, it gets closer to the ground anyhow. I don't know what you call it, but gravity kind of take over. So there's all that going on, and what do you know? Memaw's muumuus is on the ground. And I don't know about your trailer park, but Chancellor Park's gravel. But there's a lot of dirt too in all them rocks. So we got a little mess on our hands when Memaw's muumuus get a little dirty. And you know about what happens when dirt gets wet? A little more science on you. That's mud. I got in trouble, y'all guys. I know that sounds bad enough. Like, oh boy, you got Memaw's muumuus dirty. That's bad. You just have to throw them in the washing machine again and then not put them in the dirt. I know all that, but I'm telling you, there was something before I got them off the ground, off the gravel. We got like more to this story, as they say. Okay? A stray dog came along, took off with one of Memaw's muumuus. The other one was fine except for a little mud, but one of them's done gone. And I think that stray dog took her muumuu out of spite. Memaw ain't kind to stray dogs, and that's just how it goes, but I guess who's going to have to pay for this muumuu? You going to catch down a stray dog and ask him to pull out his wallet? Oh no, y'all guys. It ain't going to be no stray dog paying for Memaw's muumuus. I can tell you that right now. And the reason her muumuu was outside in the first place is because I took it out there to dry it on a cardboard box. So you know what I got to do. So I was in my trailer trying to just make a sandwich when I hear Memaw holler. I mean, while I walk all the way over to my trailer and knock when you can scream from 3 trailers over. She told me I'm going to have to replace that muumuu that a stray dog took off with. You know, she's basically saying this is your new assignment on top of the other 2 resolutions you got. She said, it don't have to look the same as the one that got stole, but it do need to be a winter muumuu. So that means it got to be flannel. And she told me I need to get down to Uptown Gal, which is the women's clothing store in town. Mort Dwysdale's wife, Glenda Donna, she owns it. She got the 2 names because she named after her mama and her grandma, and whoever she ain't mad at that day, she goes by that name, but I can't keep up, so I just call her both names. And that's how that go.
But I really ain't planning on going to Uptown Gal if I can help it. I mean, I ain't got them high dollar prices in my wallet. I can't afford that. But I'm telling Memaw I ain't made out of money, and I can't go to those places and just pull a flannel muumuu off the rack and lay down the money for it. And she told me that's my problem, but she needs a new muumuu, a new winter's flannel muumuu, because a stray dog took off with hers. And I don't think they wear them. You know, like Mema was hoping, you know, back in the 80s, squirrels would wear bonnets because she made about 800 of them. But, boy, she did not consult them squirrels first because they hated them bonnets. And I don't think stray dogs like flannel muumuus. I think that dog just hated my Mema. But, you know, this is just speculation. I'm just trying to get in the mind of a stray dog, and I don't really belong there. That ain't my job. All I know now is that I got to find a flannel muumuu to replace the one that this doggy took it off with. I was kindly thinking if she's a little nicer to stray dogs, this might not have happened, but I did drape her muumuu over a cardboard box, and I caught it a clothesline. That's on me. So now I got a little more work to do, and, well, you know, that's just how that goes. So I head down to the burger shed because I need to think, and that's a good place to do it. I need to think about Memaw's resolutions. I need to think about how to find more work. I need to think about this flannel muumuus. You know, the one that Memaw wants to replace. So that's a lot of thinking you got to do. And the burger shed is best I know. So I slide to a booth down there. And Myron Curtis, he's finishing up a plate of biscuits and gravy. It ain't on the menu, but you just got to ask for it. I mean, you got to know that it's there because it's a secret menu. And, well, Myron knows. So he's eating that in the booth I slide into, you know, is Myron's. We friends, so I'm just sitting across from him, and I tell him about my morning. And then when I tell him about that clothesline, Myron perks up. Like, I ain't never seen anybody perk up when you tell him something about a clothesline. And that seemed to work. He got a little excited. He says, my aunt, she got a subscription to a home magazine and do-it-yourself stuff. And I was like, okay, well, what about that, Myron? Like, I wasn't sure how to connect them dots or nothing like that. He goes, I seen an idea for a chicken coop. And I said, I don't need a chicken coop, Myron. Who said anything about a chicken coop? And Myron pulls a pencil out of his pocket, fully sharpened. I ain't quite sure why his thigh wasn't bleeding. Anyhow, he grabs a napkin, and he starts, like, scribbling something on a napkin with the sharpened pencil. There in the burger shed across from me next to his empty plate of biscuits and gravy. And I'm waiting on my number 3 combo meal at this time. And I said, what are you doing, Myron? He goes, I can't show you yet, Tevin. I'm just noodling. I might have a clothesline idea for you, though. I just got to work on it here. And I said, well, all you talked about was your aunt's magazine subscription and chicken coop, so I don't know what you're doing. About that time, Bud walked over with my food, and he asked what was going on. And I told him I'm on a mission for Memaw to get a new muumuu, and I need to find more work because I got to make that money. He said, if you can take Uncle Jesse to the vet, I'll give you $20. Uncle Jesse is Bud and Nita's doggy. And I asked Bud when he needed this to happen, and he said as soon as possible. It's got surgery, talking about Uncle Jesse got surgery in an hour, but Nita's back locked up on her, and she can't drive, and Bud's about to help out with the lunch rush at the burger shed. So I got $20, drove my Ford Ranger with the new seat covers to pick up Uncle Jesse, hustle him over to the veterinary. I didn't have to pick that doggy up after the surgery, so I did have one pickup out at Bud and Nita's, then one drop-off at the veterinary. Then I was done, $20 earned, and then Bud was going to pick up the doggy later after he's done with his surgery, whatever that was going to be. I don't know. So Bud could do all that later. Myron Curtis is apparently working on an idea for Memaw's clothesline, and I have to go find that muumuu now that I'm $20 richer. So me and Myron, we parted ways once I had to go pick up that doggy, Uncle Jesse, and he said, you know, I'm noodling on this. So I'm like, well, I guess, you know, your mind's a little more at ease. Like, boy, maybe Myron's working on this for me. I can focus on some of this other stuff today, like the muumuu. So that's kind of where my mind went, y'all guys. You know how you have to make a list, not like a Christmas list and check it twice or nothing like that, or naughty or nice list, like a list of to-dos today. This is what I got to do. And my to-do list, you know, now at the top of it is this muumuu for Memaw. That's what I got to get figured out. I had an idea, though. You know how, like, when a light bulb goes off, kind of like ding, ding? I ain't never heard a light bulb make that noise, but you get the idea. Anyhow, I thought, what if I go check out the flea market Jerry Don and Sybil Fornhart on, and I see what kind of gently used winter wear they got for sale. See about that? I mean, you can find some beautiful deals. I mean, some wonderful treasures at a flea market. I probably ain't got to tell y'all that. You know that. So, I mean, a flannel muumuu is a flannel muumuu the way I see it. So I get down there, and I know I got to go inside to find the clothes. They got lawnmowers, wheelbarrows, car bumpers, that kind of thing outside. But inside is that stuff that don't do real well if it gets wet. So I'm down there, and Jerry Don smells like two-stroke engine trying to get a kerosene lamp to work. He got it on the counter there at the flea market. He looks up from his little project there. Oh, hey, Tavin. Jerry Don, I need some help, buddy. He goes, I got all kind of garden tools and scissors next to the Travis Tritt outdoor garden box. Now, I don't know why Jerry Don assumed he knew what I was looking for, but all of a sudden I sure was interested in taking a peek at a Travis Tritt planter box. Had to be one of a kind. I did tell Jerry Don, no, hey, I need a muumuu. Well, Jerry Don looked right up at me and he said, you need a muumuu? I said, I need a flannel muumuu for my Memaw. Stray dog took off with one of hers. And he said, well, that dog should be easy to spot. And I said, no, Jerry Don, I ain't looking for a stray dog and a muumuu. I'm looking for a winter muumuu to replace that one for my Memaw. Now he said, oh, well, check that rack back there. Sybil added all kind of stuff yesterday. So I get back there and I look over at that rack of clothes, and there's 3 muumuus in there, y'all guys. It's like a flea market jackpot. One was a summer muumuu, but them other 2 was flannels, so I got it narrowed down. One was orange and yellow striped. The other was forest green with ducks on it. Easy choice. So I take that off the rack, and $4.25 later, I'm walking out with a flannel muumuu that smells a little like kerosene because Jerry Don had to touch it when he was ringing me up. And before I know it, I'm back at the trailer park. Peekleboon, Chancellor Park. And I wanted to get this muumuu to Memaw before I drop it in the dirt or another stray dog come along and want to match his buddy. So I head to her trailer, and I knock on that door, and I guess I could just go in. But I kindly wanted to be standing there at the front door holding a forest green muumuu with ducks on it. They was mallards. So that's what I did, and Memaw actually smiled. I followed her inside to kind of make sure my debt payment was complete. And it was, I mean kindly, because she reached into that pocket, and then the new muumuu, the forest green muumuu with the ducks on it, she reached into the pocket. I don't know if you're familiar with muumuus, but they got some front pockets on them. And she pulled out a piece of peanut brittle. Y'all guys, she pulled out a piece of peanut brittle from this muumuu that I got at the flea market. Now, in my defense, I never said I was going to Uptown Gal to get her a brand new muumuu. But that's what she told me to do, and now she's surprised that she's finding peanut brittle in that pocket. Where'd you get this, Tavin? She holds up that peanut brittle. I said, you just got it out of that pocket, Memaw. How could you forget that so quick? And she said, you know what I mean. I said, do you like the muumuu? And she's looking it over and kindly fights back a smile because she's so mad about that peanut brittle, but she liked that muumuu. So I just nod at her and I smile and I turn to leave, and then she turns back to her futon. But I kid you not, when that trailer door was closing behind me, I seen Memaw take a nibble out of that peanut brittle. She took a nibble out of that muumuu flannel pocket flea market peanut brittle. Took a nibble. Well, I know I ain't home free, but Memaw's got a muumuu. She ain't got a clothesline though yet, and I don't even know where to start right now on a baby doll display case. We will see. Here's the deal though, y'all guys. I'm up $16.75 after getting paid for taking Uncle Jesse to the veterinary and then paying $4.25 for a muumuu that came with some bonus peanut brittle. So that's all I know. I mean, I think that's a pretty good way to end the year. Like as a businessman, well, I did some business today. I took care of business. I mean, my own work. I found a job to do, and then you know the other family business, like helping Memaw move toward them 25 resolutions, and one being a clothesline. We ain't there yet. I took a swing. Okay, I admit it was a strike. I didn't strike out completely, but that was definitely strike one on a clothesline. But then I did get that muumuu replaced. Feeling good about that. So we back to like the starting line, I guess you'd say. And that's a good place where you want to be at the beginning of the year, the way I see it. So anyhow, that's where we at. I hope you have a great New Year's Eve. We got quite a year behind us. Boy, we did a lot. I had a new book come out, Team Burger Shed, this past year. I did a big show in Wichita Falls, Texas. Saw y'all out there. Maybe doing some more live shows in 2025, more of that. And some other stuff hopefully on the horizon that I can share with y'all soon. I did a lot of videos, you know, and made some more friends, and I appreciate you being one of them. So have a great New Year's Eve, and I sure am glad you chose to spend some of that time this year with me, y'all. I sure appreciate it. And if you didn't get the Christmas present you wanted, you can always check the show notes for them shirts and hats and beanies and bacon, anything like that you want. You'll see that link today. And always stay in touch. Text me at 501-322-6249 or email me at tavindillard@gmail.com. I sure appreciate y'all guys. And hey, if you ain't been asked to make a baby doll display case so Rachel Christine can go to Branson in April this week, you having a pretty good week. Me? I'm Tavin Dillard. This is a Tavin Dillard podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. Happy New Year!